breaking news coming in from the courts where Bilkis Bano's case is being heard in the Supreme Court. Rather, the hearing has now been concluded in the Supreme Court. The matter has to be taken up now on 2nd May. The Supreme Court slams the Gujarat government over the release of the convicts. Well, that is the big breaking news that we're getting you at this point in time. Well, Bilkis Bano case hearing in Supreme Court gets concluded. The matter is set to be taken up again on 2nd May. The Supreme Court slams the Gujarat government over release of the convicts. And to take us through the details, I'm joined by my colleague Harish. Well, Harish, this is a big breaking news that we are getting to our viewers right now. The Supreme Court has come down heavily on the Gujarat government. They have questioned the parole granted and they have questioned the release of the convicts and about what message does the state want to send across. Take us through the details about what exactly happened and the strong observations made by the Supreme Court.
Yes, that's right. The Supreme Court bench led by Justice K.M. Joseph has come down very heavily on the Gujarat government and the centre as far as the release of 11 convicts in the gang rape of Bilkis Bano and the killing of 7 relatives are concerned. Remember, the Supreme Court was hearing the petition filed by Bilkis Bano challenging the release of the 11 convicts. The Supreme Court bench asked, how can you compare apples with oranges? And also, how can you compare the murder of one person with mass murder? In this case, it was a pregnant woman was gang raped and a 3-year-old daughter was killed, and also 7 of her relatives were killed. And we want to see the files. Why don't you bring the files in front of us? Why don't you? So we wanted to see the files, and the Supreme Court pulled up. The Supreme Court pulled up the Gujarat government for not producing the files, and said that by May 2, a decision will have to be given will have to be furnished to the Supreme Court to ascertain whether a right decision had been taken in this regard. In fact, we have somebody here. We have one of the petitioners in this case, Mahua Moitra, TMC MP, joining us.
One sec, we'll do it together?
Yeah, we'll just do it all together, ma'am. Come. Ma'am, what is the court has...
The court has come down heavily on the Gujarat government.
The Gujarat government and the centre. They've also said that they'll be filing a review. Hello?
And your reaction on the government's plan to file a review?
Look, I don't think there should be any reaction on the government's plan to file a review. This was purely a delaying tactic on the part of both the Gujarat government and the union government. Obviously, I think it was very clear from... Excuse me. Can we start from the beginning?
Yeah, please.
So annoying. Okay. So, I think it wasn't... It was, I mean, guys, we'll do 2 and we'll do the rest. I can't do this.
Ma'am, please.
It's not possible.
Mahua Moitra over there making a brief statement. But remember, Bilkis Bano case hearing has been concluded in the top court. The matter has to be taken up now on 2nd May. The Supreme Court slams and comes down heavily on Gujarat government over the release of the convicts.
Government, when pressed, first he said we filed a review plea, and he said we're not showing the files, we're claiming privilege because we're going to file a review plea. When his lordship said that, well, if you're filing a review plea, what do you want? Till Friday, he says, well, I need to first decide whether I'm going to file a review plea. So it was very clear they were just prevaricating. And this was just a delaying tactic. As you know, that it's not for me to say, but I think it's very clear that they are hoping that a bench will change and they will get a certain benefit that way. I think it's very clear. This was a complete delaying tactic. In fact, his lordship even brought up the fact that Mr. Raju was appearing till yesterday for the Gujarat government of Gujarat, and has then suddenly changed to the union. And they're actually in contempt because on the 27th of March, on our pleas, it was very clearly put down in the order that all relevant files will be produced today, the next date of hearing. and they have not produced it. You saw that they were clearly in contempt. They are delaying. And I think that now, we are here. Subhashini Ali was also with me. And they insisted on the fact, you could hear the state of Gujarat and some of the respondents argue that it's a question of locus. And I think the bench made it very clear that in terms of heinous crimes like this, very often the victim herself can be under threat. The victim could be no more. There could be 100 different reasons. And these are crimes against state. These are crimes against society. So there's no question about nickeling and diming on questions of locus. They have been issued notice on our pleas, on both Subhashini Ali and my plea.
Has the court also, because in the middle the judges were saying that we'll hold you in contempt if the documents are not shown today itself.
That's right.
But then it seems that the court changed its mind, or the arguments were accepted.
I don't think he accepted the arguments. I think he made it very clear and told them that, you are in contempt and you're in contempt. We can see it. We can see it for what it is, which is a delaying tactic. And I think that the fact that he's put it down on May 2nd for final disposal is very important. I mean, they can run, but they can't. They can hide, but they can't run.
Does the stinging remarks from the bench give you some hope?
Look, the reason we are standing in the lawns of the hallowed court of the highest court of the land means that every single Indian citizen till today has hope in the judiciary and has hope in the bench. So that's why we are here. So of course, we are here for hope, and we will always get hope. And the question is of justice.
Final judgment on May 2nd.
Well, he said it's a final disposable. So I do think that the question is that, will Bilkis get justice? I'm not here for myself. We are here for Bilkis, and we hope that she will get justice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.